Hi everybody, Courtney here. I got caught in the rain today, so I'm a little worse for wear, but I was out doing some shopping and some errands, and I was listening to podcasts as I always do. I was listening to Frugal Friends and Minimalish. Those are two of my favorite. The other one is How to Money. And I just started having some thoughts as I'm listening to these podcasts about how our decisions, our daily decisions impact our conscious spending impacts, all of our life, whether we live a slow living style life, whether we live a simple life, whether we're minimalist or not. And I love the term minimalish because that's kind of how I see myself is if you look at my house, it doesn't look like a minimal aesthetic, which you often see is like just a bed and two side tables. There's hardly anything in the room. It's very sterile and cold. I definitely like a more hygge type, cozy, comfy aesthetic, but I don't like to have a lot of stuff or a lot of clutter. I recently got rid of a ton of throw pillows. When I buy something, I often am like, do I love this? Does it have sentimental meaning? Or is it useful? And so today, as I was running errands, I was thinking about things, how my brain was making decisions. And I've done videos like this before, but I thought I'd kind of go through with you how my brain functions from all of my years of simplicity training. And yes, I have done a ton of training in voluntary simplicity. I have led I've facilitated classes on voluntary simplicity since I was in my 30s, almost 20 years now. I have read everything I could get my hands on about simplicity, minimalism, slow living, and I want to share how that works in my day-to-day life. Forgive me, please. I had serious dental surgery yesterday on this very back tooth, and long story short, it took 4 hours because I couldn't get numb. So I had like 14 shots in my mouth and I'm really swollen. My tongue is swollen. So if I look a little funny, that's why. But today, the first thing I did was I wrote a list. I had a sticky note and I had my calendar of all the things I needed to do over the next 2 days. And I always kind of think about that. Like I needed to get a shot, but they're not open till tomorrow. So that's not on the today list. And I want to go to Sam's Club, but my husband can go with me tomorrow and it's easier to lift all that heavy stuff if I have help. So I looked at my list and my time frame, everything I had to do, and this is how it worked out. So I always plan a route, a logical driving route to reduce left-hand turns when possible, but more such that things are in like a circle. So I go one way and I stop all the places along the way until I'm coming back home. And today that started out with me going to the flea market. I put up on Facebook, and I do this almost anytime I need anything, okay? I'll put anything major that I was looking for some baby stuff and I was looking for a outdoor rug. I know the lady at our local flea market near me, and she said, Courtney, I just got a ton of indoor outdoor rugs and they're brand new. So I went up there and sure enough, they had them. What I did was I got on my phone, okay, and I looked to see the cost of that brand. I put the brand of the rug in just to make sure someone hadn't gotten a cheap rug and was reselling it for the same price. And in fact, it was $129 and they had it marked $59 with tax. It was $64. So I got the rug. It's not exactly what I want, but it will work. And that's another thing. I try not to get too caught up in, is this exact? I try not to be too picky. I like it. It will work. I need a rug outdoors because we just had our house painted and I don't want my metal furniture to tear up the floor. The next thing was I went to the bank because, actually I did go back to a local furniture store that I had passed just to check their prices. I have a cash budget for a rocker, which is somewhere I want to spend, I was almost embarrassed to tell them, around $300. I have $500 in my budget for all the home things I need, which is 2 rockers and a rug. Spent $64 on the rug. I really want to spend about $300 on a chair. They didn't have it. It was just right up the street from the flea market. So I went to the bank to get my son's debit card. And then I took out cash for all of the things for the month. About once a year, I do a cash month where I did $500 for food, $200 for dates or going out, $200 for the animals' food. I went over it yesterday, $200 for Thanksgiving and $500 for the furniture and stuff that I needed. And then I did remember today that if I buy a chair for our Airbnb, I really need to take it out of that budget. So I may put some money back in the bank. I went to the bank to get my son's debit card that was lost and get cash. And then I went to the library where I checked out a couple of books to read over the next few weeks for free. Love my library. I also have the app on my phone and I put it on our TV because it has free movies, audiobooks, and ebooks. Then I went over to the recycling center. I go every time I'm in that direction. I just drop off any recycling I have. And then I went to another store where a guy who was rather rough around the edges, a salesman who, when you think of a sleazy salesman, he was pretty much that. He was trying to just really sway me to buy this expensive rocker recliner. And I said, look, this is going to go in my Airbnb. I already have an expensive chair in there that I want to switch out and put at my house. I want something that is going to work. It's going to be right, but it needs to be, I don't want to spend a ton of money. And they have a clearance floor downstairs. And he just kept trying to pull all the tricks on me. And it was all I could do not to have a face with him. But I ended up going down to the clearance room, even though he tried to talk me out of it and said there's nothing down there. And I found 2 chairs down there that looked exactly like what I wanted. One was $247. It was normally $700. It said as is. I tried it. I looked it over. I don't see anything. I asked him about it. He said there's a little tag that says what it is. So I'll go back and check that tomorrow, and I want to measure. And then after that, I found another one. I sat in it. It all worked. And then I went to, after I left there, I didn't buy anything because I wanted to think about it. I went to Tractor Supply, where I have been buying my dog's Purina Pro Plan, which is $40 for a case of 12. And I looked at the ingredients on the Tractor Supply 4Health brand, and they looked really good. And I looked up the maker of that, and it's Diamond Naturals, which is recommended a lot for Great Pyrenees. And I have a Great Pyrenees in my Great Pyrenees book groups. So I was like, okay. And I asked the guy, I said, is this a quality, product? And he said it was. They sell a lot of it. They sell more of that than anything. And it didn't have a bunch of byproducts in it. So I ended up getting my cat, my dog, for like almost a third less of the cost. So we're going to try that. And then I found a dog bed. So remember, I had a $200 budget for food this month. I didn't want to spend it all because it's just the beginning of my month runs the 22nd to the 22nd on my credit card. So I found this beautiful dog bed because my dogs go through beds like crazy. This one's got a rip in it. And I thought this is going to be $80. This dog bed is so cute. As a matter of fact, I wish I had it in the house because it's very it looks very expensive, and it's that whole kind of bohemian look. And the guy, I had him check the price. It was $29. I could not believe it, y'all. I mean, beds like that are usually $60 to $70. So I got that. My whole bill at Tractor Supply was $89. So I came on home after that. But everything was thought out. Do I need this? Do I want this? Is it useful? And everything was thought out. I had a girl coming to deliver a glider. So when I put on Facebook that I needed these baby things because my granddaughter's coming home and my grandson's coming over and I wanted to have rockers for them, I needed to source some things to make it easier. So my friend offered me a glider for $25. I'm going to give her $40 because she's bringing it to me and it's really far out. So I got a glider. Another friend is giving me a swing for free. I'll probably throw a little bit of money at her for that, and like some kind of nappy pillow. I called my ex-husband, or I texted my ex-husband. I knew he had a few baby items that his girlfriend got at like a yard sale or something. And I asked if I could borrow their pack and play, or Cole, my son, could borrow their pack and play. And he said yes. So that I sourced almost everything I needed just by being a little bit resourceful. Now, I have a chair over here. I always feel like this is too. I have this chair right here, and there's my Great Pyrenees. That's Pearl. She's so beautiful. So that chair, ooh, right there. That chair, brand new in the furniture store, is $1,425. I purchased it from a female doctor for $125. My cat has been a little rough on it, as you'll see. And you can't really see the spots. Even if you get up close, you have to like get really, really close. I am thinking about putting that up for sale. I know my mom would probably like to have it. I just don't really think she has a place for it. And I'm kind of torn because I would like to get rid of it. I've got this other chair right here. You see that right there? That chair, it came from Sam's Club. My stepmom gave it to me. It's not very comfortable. It's very cute. It's a recliner. And my son wants it in Fayetteville, which is going to cost me to get it to him. It's going to cost me gas and probably a meal. Well, they'll take him out to eat, but I don't mind. I'm giving that to my son. The other chair, I would like to get some money for it so that I could put that towards the chairs that I'm buying. So we'll see. My mom just got a new couch and 2 new chairs, and she lives in a tiny little house. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to ask her right now, but at any rate, we'll see. I know that sounds terrible. That's just how I think. I'm always thinking about, like, I organize my errands. I try not to extend myself, and I have a budget, and I just try to have parameters. When I was younger, I always felt like having parameters almost gave me power. My personality, I get decision fatigue really easily. So guardrails, even if they're self-imposed, make me feel safe, if you will. Another thing I'm going to start doing, I want to share with you all before I end, and you can tell me any ideas that you have or that you do. And please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. It means so much, or comment. That really helps. And subscribe if you're not. I am trying to get back to cleaner products. I use a cruelty-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner. I try to use vegan makeup because I am vegan. I'm an ethical vegan. I try not to buy leather as much as possible unless it's like already used or it's on a deep discount where it's like in the clearance type of thing where they're going to sell it anyway. But I try not to do that too much. I'm trying to get away from like dirty candles, dirty scents in the house. I try to only buy beeswax and soy, and I limit them. I used to love to have candles everywhere, and I love that look. But I think I'm gonna maybe get some of the kind with the batteries in them. But cleaning supplies, I know that the, oh gosh, what's that wood floor cleaner that's so popular? It's a clean, non-toxic wood floor cleaner. It's been around forever, Murphy's Oil. I know that Barkeeper's Friend is clean and non-toxic. I had switched to heavy-duty detergents like the Walmart brand or Tide with Downy, and I think it's making my husband and I itch some, especially him. He has really sensitive skin, and I know, like, I was using Mrs. Meyer's, but it felt like my clothes weren't getting very clean. So do you have an economical solution? I have heard mixed things about making your own detergents, and we live on a farm and we own a roofing business, so my husband gets really dirty, and I really need something that's going to clean the stains. Any other cleaning products you recommend? We generally use glass cleaner, vinegar, baking soda, Murphy's Oil, and Arm & Hammer. So anything you can recommend. I'm also like minimal of everything. I use rags most of the time. I do keep paper towels for like nasty things like a cat throws up or something like that, or for like cleaning an apple because I don't want to put detergent on an apple or something like that. But any ideas you have on how to live a more clean, non-toxic life, I would appreciate that. All right, I hope that you enjoyed my little foray into how I think about minimalism, anti-consumerism, environmentalism because of using less stuff we don't need, And with that, I'm going to take Jameson out because I think he's telling me he needs to go. Thank you. Bye-bye.